Welcome to Centered Presents The Future of Health. Join me, Christina Walecka, along with Dr. Molly Brown, as we dive deep into the world of brain-based wellness.
In each episode, we will explore cutting-edge insights and practical techniques that empower you to achieve optimal health and super high-energy living.
Tune in and start your journey toward a healthier, more vibrant you. Welcome back to Centered Presents The Future of Health. I'm Christina Walecka.
And I'm Dr. Molly Brown.
And on today's episode, we are discussing neurofeedback.
Yeah, the neurofeedback is a complete game changer for a lot of common issues, including anxiety, depression, trauma, slow processing, ADD, head injury, and anything for cognitive efficiency, making you about 10 times the person that you could be.
Yeah, I like to say it's almost like, imagine we could take you and make you the smartest, most focused, most creative version of yourself.
That's a great way to describe it.
And that's literally what it does.
That's literally what it does. That's a great way to describe it. Imagine if your brain is balanced and efficient, your whole body functions that way.
Whole body. In terms of what the process looks like, can you walk me?
So with the neurofeedback, we pretty much start with an EEG with everyone who walks in the door. It's an objective test. We capture data of the brain, including stress tolerance at the back of the brain, which includes your resilience to stress, your immunity, your ability to sleep deeply, and also it encompasses sort of a chronic and long-term worn out anxiety and depression, as opposed to acute anxiety, which would be seen in the frontal lobes. Then we also look at the frontal lobes and the balance in the frontal lobes. We look at anxiety and depression. We look at the FC, which is the very front of the brain for processing. And if the brain is overthinking or overfiring, that can be seen as an anxiety pattern because you're firing too fast, right? And so it's an inefficiency. And then we look at processing. Slow processing can lead to sort of an impulsivity, right? Because you're looking to stimulate yourself. And then trauma markers. So trauma markers can be short or long-term trauma markers, and that's actual trauma, and it can lead to feeling sort of unsafe or disconnected in the world. And so all those are areas that we can train with our neurofeedback. And a session is 20-minute session, and you look at a screen and a video that's playing, and you have headphones on, so you have music and harmonics. And the combination of those trains your brain through a neurofeedback loop. And so if one of the brain waves is too high or too low, whatever we're training, then the system glitches. And that unpleasant glitch is what trains the brain towards a more fluid processing at that area, whatever area we're training.
And we kind of describe it as your brain's looking in a mirror at itself. And when it's functioning correctly, it's rewarded. And when it's malfunctioning, we're training it to function correctly. Who would you recommend for this?
For neurofeedback, anyone stuck in issues or trauma or severe anxiety and depression, anyone who wants a more fluid brain, we use it with athletes for focus and concentration. It's hard to describe how it feels to have a highly efficient brain, but once you experience it, it's the most amazing feeling in the world.
And I've always been a big proponent. I think that a case like ADHD in schools, instead of giving them medication, this is something that could totally help with
Neurofeedback's been shown to be more effective than any medication out there.
No, I remember as someone who lived with severe anxiety for probably 14 years of my life, between all the combination of the protocols and modalities we used, I remember waking up after a couple sessions just being this is what it feels like to not be tweaking.
Right. Tweaking. We only know our own brain. We only know our own digestion, right? So it's when that shift occurs and you start feeling really good, that's when people realize how either inefficient or how much time has been lost dealing with health issues or weak digestion or stomachs that hurt or anxiety around issues that they thought was normal, but just goes away.
Well, stress tolerance, we're filled with stress every day, all day of our life, but the ability to hyper-focus for somebody who's in the workforce or again, a professional athlete or a student, literally it helps immensely and to concentrate for hours at a time.
Yeah. And the neurofeedback balances the brain, leading to cognitive efficiency. And in combination with the QNRT resets the nervous system. Through balancing the brain, the organs and glands start improving. And so the combination of the neurofeedback and QNRT is actually incredible because one trains the brain to a balanced pattern, and then the QNRT, will reset the nervous system. So the combination is a really quick accelerate a result for almost anything you could think of.
And this is something Dr. Molly likes to call brain-based wellness, which again, it's all like it stems from the brain. The brain is so powerful. How many sessions would you usually recommend?
Anywhere from 10 to 20 is typically what we do.
And are there any side effects?
Nope. Sometimes after the first couple of sessions of neurofeedback, people can feel tired because the brain is fighting for what it knows, right? So we're training it to different patterns in it. And like the first couple of times I did it, I felt a deep level of like fatigue after those first couple of sessions where I had to go rest because it was such a significant change.
It's like an exercise for your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it long lasting?
It's permanent.
Permanent, yeah, because again, your brain trains and your brain is...
Yeah. Your brain will default to the trained patterns once a sufficient amount of training has happened. So you will default to that healthier and more efficient brain. And so we see that it's permanent. If there's some type of trauma or an accident or a life-changing incident, you can come back in and do like a 3 to 5 session tune-up. Seems to get you right back to where you want to be.
And I know I've read some studies where even when it comes to cognitive function and memory, there's been a lot of success stories.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of aging clientele that were in complete cognitive decline, which leads to depression and no quality of life. They have their humor restored. They are feeling sharp and clear. They're remembering things. And to give that quality of life back is amazing.
Neurofeedback is something that is a little bit more commonly known, I think. In terms of finding a practitioner, how would you guide somebody?
I would definitely recommend finding someone who does neurofeedback and QNRT because any amount of neurofeedback is helpful, but in combination with the QNRT, it's specifically transformative.
Thank you for joining us on today's episode of Centered Presents The Future of Health. If you're interested in learning more, please visit us at drmollybrown.com or email us at media@drmollybrown.com.